This is the vegan gnocchi dish that I promised you the other day. So I'm bringing it to you today. A little bit late running, sorry about that. Just been so busy. I've got my vegetables, got some garlic, and I've got some gnocchi, some coconut oil and a tin of tomatoes and some nutritional yeast and some vitamin D mushrooms. I'm going to be adding some oregano as the herb and also some basil, not sure how to say that, basil, oh, we'll say it differently anyway. Anyway, first I'm going to add some onion to the pan, chopped onion, give that a little stir and cook that down a little bit. And then also I'm going to add some garlic, quite a few chopped garlic. Really like lots of garlic in my Italian dishes. I'm going to add a little bit of chilli. This is chilli and lemon, really nice. I'm going to mix that in and add a tiny little bit of salt. I've got low salt. I prefer not to use too much sodium in my food. And then give that a little stir so it's all covered. I'm now going to add my spinach and my mushrooms. And also the chopped veg, which is like broccoli in a packet, which I get from Iceland. Very good to put in any meal this. Any vegetarian meal, you could just add these chopped packets, they're really lovely. By rights, I don't normally use frozen vegetables, but today I'm just going to be using them because I'm trying to really use as much as I can from my freezer. It's about economising as well. I'm using a bit of oat milk and I've added the nutritional yeast to the oat milk and I'm going to stir that on the pan. This is going to be an extra sauce. I've added a little bit of butter to that because it's really lovely when you make sauces and you put a little bit of butter in there. You don't have to do this, but it's just my choice. Give that a stir so it's nice and melted. Just keep stirring, nice little bit of sauce there. You can even add a little bit of corn flour, but to be honest, this meal, it will thicken up anyway. Now I'm just going to separate the bits of spinach because they're still quite frozen. They're still quite, like hard in the middle. So it just cooks quicker if you could just push it around a little bit, cook it down. Just make sure there's no bits that are just not cooking very quickly, so we can get this moving along. I've got some vegan it's actually vegan basil pesto, and I'm going to add that into my sauce because I just felt like adding some, because these are things I do, I just think up things at the last minute. I think of something at the last minute, it will spring to mind and then I'll just add it, which is what I've done there, because this whole recipe was not designed, it's just coming off the top of my head randomly. Then I've added the tomatoes to my pan. I like the plumper tomatoes because it's like big bite sizes of tomato. You can use the chopped ones, but in this dish it really complemented it, having those big bite sizes of tomato, and you get those lumpy bits in there that are really nice and tasty. do like tomatoes. Keep stirring that in till everything's mixed up together. Now I've added the basil and the oregano is coming next. Mix that in. It's looking really juicy, but there's still more sauce to add. You could put more tomatoes in, but I think this was just enough really, just 1 tin of tomatoes. I've added a bit of tomato puree to make it slightly more tangy. And even another one that's really good to add, if you like it a bit more tangy, is a little bit of lemon juice, which is really beautiful in most. I used to put that in most of my dishes until one day I made a mistake and put too much, and I've not done it since, but I would recommend using a little bit of lemon. So maybe I put myself off there. I'm putting a bit of red pesto in there because that gives it a really nice warmy flavour. Warmy tomato. All these flavours are just amazing together. And look at that, the colour. Now I've added the nutritional yeast sauce, so it's going to give it a kind of cheesiness, but it's not too cheesy. Cheesy. Oh my god, I hate the way I say that word. Anyway, look at this, the way, I'm stirring away, and look how glorious that, the colours, the thickness, smoothness of this lovely dish coming along just like that. Like randomly I've made this the way it is, and it just looks amazing so far. Now I'm going to add my gnocchi. You can cook the gnocchi separate, but I'm just going to add it to the mix because I don't think it will harm just putting it in there and cooking it. It only takes about 2 minutes to make anyway, so it's really, really easy to cook gnocchi. Gnocchi is made from potatoes. It's a kind of pasta, but it's made from potatoes. So instead of you would usually use a flour to make pasta, these are made obviously with the potato, so it's slightly different, but it really does taste good. I don't know how they make it actually. I would like to be able to make some from scratch at some point, because when I buy something I always wonder how it's made from scratch, and then I start moving on to work out how I'm going to do these things from scratch. That's how I build my knowledge, just from self-taught mainly. I did do a little cooking course, but I'm mainly self-taught everything that I've done so far, so I've done it all myself, but I am doing a couple of courses just to get some extra knowledge. I just love stirring it because it's just so nice and flowy. I sometimes add a little bit of water at this point. In between these two clips here, I've added some water because it can really thicken up quite quickly. So you probably wouldn't need any flour or corn flour if you decided to use some, because believe me, this does thicken up quite quickly in the heat. So I've had to use water to smooth it down a bit. Now look at that, look at the colours. Look how smooth and soft, and it's very liquidy and nice and thick at the same time. Now what I'm going to do is make a nice salad to go with it, because these dishes really complement a salad, or the salad really complements the dish. What's good about making a salad with this dish is because usually with gnocchi you feel quite bloated afterwards. You don't, not necessarily, but you may do, because it's quite filling. I've got some extra virgin olive oil as well to put in my salad, But all these ingredients that I'm going to use for my salad are very good for digestion, which is the cucumber. This is a cucumber salad. I've made a salad similar to this with celery as well, very good for digestion. Dijon mustard, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Dijon, maybe that's it. I think it's French, so it's probably Dijon. Free from pesto. I usually use the green one, but because I've run out, I'm afraid I have to use the red one for now. But it's still just as nice actually. Just mix all those in. So it's usually olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, Dijon mustard, green pesto, this one's red pesto, and also apple cider vinegar. How can we not forget the apple cider vinegar? That's going in there too. And then you get your nice vinaigrette type of sauce. And a little bit of herbs, whichever herb you like. If you like the Italian herbs, you could put the Italian herbs in there. I'm going to add mint to my salad because I don't really have any Italian herbs at the moment, so I'm going to add a little bit of mint on top, and just because I think that would really complement this salad. So what I'm going to do is just use one of my graters that I bought, which slices it up into little spaghetti chunks. It's really nice. These these graters have been really good, really helpful, really useful. I mean, helpful. Excuse the way I sometimes get a bit tongue-tied. It's all part of the fun, I suppose. Just have a laugh, come here, enjoy the food, keep it upbeat. So I'm just going to add my little bit of mint on top. Really nice.